Welcome to the new moon in Aquarius meditation, guided embodied journey into the Aquarian archetype. There were more people registered than there are people showing up live, but that's totally fine. I have come to believe that as I have received some glimpses of the mantra that there is no soul, there is no time, there is no space, that we can actually do the work at the point of time and space that we're in, together, joining and connecting through the time and space whenever we are connected or connecting to each other and having that intention. So I trust that those who are catching the replay will benefit as much and can feel the group field. I really appreciate you for showing up here and wanting to explore the Aquarian archetype. And we will dive deeper today with a different angle than we did on the full moon. But the structure remains pretty much the same. So I'll share some of the insights of the esoterics, and then we'll go into our guided journey together. And if there is anything that you would want to share or be witnessed in at the end, then there's plenty of time for that too. This time I've been, for the past year and a half, I've been reading Alice Bailey's esoteric astrology. So I've started from the beginning or what I perceive to be, maybe Helena Blavatsky would be the first, and then Alice Bailey. But what I perceive to be my calling to start from the beginning of these teachings. With Alice Bailey, I've been studying her texts on esoteric astrology, and there was something in the Aquarian archetype that did not fully click with her text alone. And so I have been studying the texts that Bruce Lyon has written or has channeled in his book Working with the Will, especially about the Aquarius. And in that writing, there is that, oh yes, now I get it. And so these little pieces come together. So if it is the same kind of experience for you, that there may be some pieces missing, or that, oh my God, this is actually resonating, then trust that, and also trust that the pieces that are missing will be shown to you at the right time, at the divine timing. What is alive in me right now about the Aquarian archetype is the connection to the actual planetary alignment that is happening today, and that is that the moon and the sun, both of them are in Aquarius. So usually in esoteric astrology, we meditate with the sun in the focus. So meaning the sun representing the soul, and the sun being in Aquarius, this would be the Aquarian new moon, even though the moon would be somewhere else. Usually, so far, the moon has been in the opposite sign. And in this case, it would be Leo. in the full moon meditation, we did have Leo as the opposite sign, where the moon representing the personality was there. But today we have a very special alignment that both of them, the personality and soul, the moon and the sun, are both in Aquarius. Also, Mercury, the messenger of gods, the bridge between the higher mind and the lower mind, um, the bridge between the soul and the personality, is in Aquarius. And also Pluto is in Aquarius, and Pluto is the planet that destroys everything that is not aligned with your inner truth, with your internal divinity. And so this is a very potent time for seeding the Aquarian, or planting the Aquarian seed for integration in your own individual experience, but also for the whole collective. So that's why I feel that this is a very important day, and a very, very important meditation that we do together. Aquarius is about serving humanity with deep purpose and profound conviction. And while the Aquarian soul becomes or moves from individual to universal, and transforms or transmutes the self-centered or selfish service into humanitarian service, the soul still does keep its individual or individuality, spiritual individuality. So the personal will is harvested to serve the soul purpose, and the personality is the vehicle for the soul and for the spirit. But that when in Leo, in the opposite sign, the soul is in the center, or the personality is in the center, and this shining comes through. In Aquarian archetype, we still shine, but for the good of the whole. So not because we are in the center, but something bigger is in the center. And we serve that bigger, whatever that is, whether that be, depending on that stage that we're in. According to the teachings, it would be humanity. It would be the will to act on behalf of the hierarchy, meaning the spirit. And so that is why the moon is also very important, because not only is the moon in Aquarius today, but it is representing, or it is ruling the monadic, the spirit level of Aquarius. And it is the will to be and to know. And it fuses the heart and mind. And it brings in the energy of the fourth ray, the harmony through conflict. And so we have a very auspicious time to connect to the Aquarian monadic energy today. The difference between Piscean era and Aquarian era, and how the life force energy flows through in the society and in the world at large, and also in the personal or in the individual, is that in the Piscean era, for the past 2,500 years, there's been this one person at the center, the guru, that has been the leader of the life force energy, that has spread that energy to the people around them. Cosmologically, that would be that the sun has been at the center, and the planets around it have been nourished by that sun that has been in contact with the monadic energy that is flowing through the galactic center. But in Aquarian era, the sun is removed from the center, and all the planets have a direct access themselves with the galactic center, with the monadic energy. And none of them is the one leader, and all of them is the one leader. And this electric current that is coming from the galactic center, or the black hole, is poured through each individual, for one, and through the group being, the group soul. But the trick is that when we are acting individually, we are doing our own work, and we are preparing ourselves to be those vessels, to be those leaders. And yet there's only so much that we can reach as individuals. There's a certain limit that we cannot pass as an individual, but can access as part of a group, as a group. And that is what we're practicing today. The group consciousness and how to live in a group, because the group life is the avatar of the one life that pours through the waters of life to the lower kingdoms, because it is, according to the teachings, it's the destiny of humanity to be the bridge of this energy from the cosmos to the lower kingdoms. And by lower kingdoms is referred to the animals, the plants, and the minerals. So the whole planet, basically. And we are serving the whole planet with this energy, and we are finding our place of service amongst the one organism of one humanity. So this is not about, as Aquarius is about rebellion also. This is a potent time to set new foundations for the society at large that will follow, to break whatever needs to be broken in the societal structures or elements that are not serving, and add more life to those parts that still serve but are not so much alive. And so we don't need to know or stress about it through our mind that I should know, or we should, as if we should pick ourselves what stays and what does not stay and what leaves. No, it's actually up to the life itself to decide that, and we are just witnessing as we surrender ourselves as the vehicles, as servers of the one life. And how this is beneficial for the whole of society and for the whole of the globe, actually, is that in the previous system, with the one guru, with one leader, and how the energy and the life force energy would flow, would be that it would always be dependent on that one person to distribute that energy. And then again, if in that field there were people who would break and would not be able to hold that current of energy, the whole system would break and there would not be the life force energy flowing through. But in the Aquarian era, the circuit is in parallel, meaning that since there is not just one in the center, but all of us, the system is not so fragile or vulnerable to people and their uh, processes or triggers or anything like that. And so it's more like, okay, I'm not feeling the current of life. I actually have some shit to deal with. So you take over, but the energy is still flowing and we can still harvest that energy and work as the vessel of that one humanity. And then take turns. So it doesn't mean that we all have to be at our optimum all the time. So that's why it is very intelligent in that sense. Thank you for your question. I see that there's a question in the chat. Raisa, could you give a bit more of perspective what you mean by humanitarian service? I feel resistance coming up when I hear it. It activates a feeling of overwhelm. It sounds so big. Yeah, thank you for that. I'm actually really happy that you brought that in. That has been alive in myself as well. I would have played you a song, but it's in Finnish and it's a Christian hymn that came to me a week ago on Wednesday. It was my mother's soul that came to me that wanted me to sing that to her so that her soul would be able to transition better from this life to the next, as she has decided to leave. And at first I thought that, okay, I'm gonna help her to move on. But as I was singing that song, the message was let me check, it's right over here. The song was written in the 1800s by Oscar Arnfelt and the message in this song was referring to the piece in the Bible that is in Matthew 6:34, where Jesus says that you don't need to worry about tomorrow. It will take care of itself. Each day has its own worries or complaints. And the song, it has 3 pieces in the song, and it says basically that just day by day and moment by moment is enough. And when we realize that we are part of the human, how I perceive it and how I took it, because I realized that, oh my God, that's actually my mother sending me a message about supporting me on my path, and how I perceive it to be in terms of the humanitarian service is that I realized that the more I deepen into the Aquarian archetype, the more I realize that I am part of one humanity and there's 8 billion of us, and there's so much suffering, there's so much pain, there's so much fucked up things with power, sex, and money. And it almost brings me to this sense of pointlessness, of meaninglessness, that what what significance can there be with one person only? I'm just one person. And the whole point is in Aquarian archetype and in the Aquarian energy, exactly that, that it's enough, totally enough, that I just this moment, I am here fully in this meditation with you, and nothing else matters. There's nothing else more important than for me to be here right now with you. And then I don't know what will happen after the meditation. My mind has made plans, but what is the significance in terms of the humanity and humanitarian service? Life will put us in our place, and we each sound our note to the greater whole. That can be energetic, that can be just writing a letter to a friend, that can be just sitting on a bus and having an eye contact with an elderly person, that can be witnessing a child play, to give that child an experience that they are seen in their play. And so it doesn't have to be something that you build a project that benefits thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people, but that you sound your note as you are, and that you have the courage to follow your intuition, whatever or wherever it guides you. For me, I've realized that, okay, it was very simple guidance. My guidance for this year is to send newsletters once a week and offer workshops once a month. I already failed last week. So because I got frozen, overwhelmed like you did. I got overwhelmed by the, oh shit, there's so many things going on. There's so much emotional processes going on that how can I still stand in the smallest of things? What is the scale that I can hold all of it? Not trying to be bigger or do bigger than what is my actual capacity at the moment. The capacity will grow, but in order to be able to serve, we need to take care of ourselves first. And it was given in the Leo archetype last July that I've taken to heart, that in order for the soul to land, for the soul and the personality to really work together, we really need to take care of our glandular and nervous systems. And in order for our nervous systems to support soul, we need to be regulated. And in order to be regulated, we need to, okay, calm down and give ourselves the moments to be small, to take one thing at a time, to just breathe for a moment and not try to give up. Yeah, basically, it's inviting us to give up a bit on the pushing, but rather, or in the give up the need for having everything done by now or by yesterday, but rather having more time and space for our nervous systems to adapt to the things that our intuition is guiding us towards, so that we can align. Yeah. I hope, does this answer your question? Great. And the humanitarian service can change over time. Some people may have one mission the whole of their lives, but then there are people who they are serving one person there, then they're serving another person there. One example is that I had the very strong intuition to, when I was visiting my mother at Christmas, I had the very strong impulse to visit the local winter ice swimming sauna in the city center. And I didn't know why. I just needed to go, even if my mother wouldn't follow me. And I went there. The sauna was empty because everybody was spending their Christmas or holidays otherwise. But suddenly there was a man coming in to the empty sauna, and I was, okay, that's why I'm here. And he came sitting next to me, even though Finnish people are usually like there's one person on the other side of the room, and okay, I'm gonna sit on the other side of the room. So this was very weird that he was sitting right next to me. Our skins were almost touching, and he started talking to me a lot about sharing about his life, sharing about his Christmas and all that. And we spent 2 hours talking. And at the end, he thanked me for having the deepest encountering that he's had in years. And I was like, wow. And I didn't realize that people didn't have that in their lives, that they were actually missing that. And I just thought in myself that I was happy to serve. I was happy to serve. And that was that. And then we went our separate ways. And that was one form of service, humanitarian service. I don't know how the ripple effects um, will take from there. I don't know how that encountering or that meeting changed his life, or if it changed. I don't know if it changed, but there was a moment there. But it definitely was a moment of humanitarian service in my experience. Uh, and to just surrender to that and not get too attached. I wanted to meet that person again because oh my God, there's a person who wants to talk to me. But there's no, the freedom is to not get attached. Very light masculine way to say that. Okay. Thank you for the question. That was a very important one. Very essential for the keynotes of the Aquarius. Let's go on our guided journey. Today, I feel very inclined to guide something that is inspired by Bruce Lyon and something that he transmitted in the Mercury transmissions after the decision. So this is something that is not publicly published, and I'm definitely not going to guide a meditation word for word. It's just an inspiration from that, because I sense that this meditation is a very, very potent in creating the group cohesion and the group soul. And let's see how that works and how it helps us to see or deepen the group consciousness, the group life, and our place to serve. And again, I invite you to take the position and the posture in the space that you're in that you feel most comfortable and relaxed in and safe. And if you feel like you still need there's some shivering still, or if there's some uneasiness or racing mind, then just reorient to the space that you're in. This helps your nervous system to calm down a bit and to bring you back to this moment so that you just sit there, you feel the weight of your body, and very slowly by moving your head, you can just let your eyes gaze, invite the room in, and just notice the different things, the objects in the space that you're in, different corners of the space that you're in. And see how that affects your breathing. And how that bringing your or reorienting yourself to the space that you're in, how does that affect your sense of self in the physical form? How does your physical body feel like? And is it easier to let go of any tensions? And if there are any physical impulses, please do follow them, do give them space. You can look up, you can look in different directions, you can look down, and also see what is more common for you. Are you looking in one direction and just ignoring that one, other directions in the space that you're in, or are you able to take in all of the space? Or do you need a break? Do you need a break from this orientation? And if so, then just close your eyes and go within. Yeah, and then just see if there are still any physical impulses wanting to express. Still give that space. If there's yawning, if there's movement, if there's shaking, if there's pounding or anything like that, or just letting your legs kick in the air, whatever. And then finding a place where you can go within. Aquarius is also about the heart. Like I said, it's about combining the heart and the mind. And so today we work with the heart and with the causal body. The causal body is the body of the soul. And in the teachings, it said that the heart of one sphere is the base of another. So our physical body, heart centers, heart chakras are a base, the root of a higher sphere in our systems. And that heart, in my experience, and I believe it is also according to the teachings, is the root or the base that activates the causal body, the heart of the soul. We can use our ajna, the third eye center, as the bridge, but we'll go into that later. This is just some um, conceptualization for your mind so that it can let go in the meditation. What do these things mean? Uh, Again, I invite you to explore with curiosity that even though these words or these concepts may be new or familiar to you, even if they are familiar to you, then just let go of what you know and be curious what wants to be revealed today. And so bring your awareness to your heart center and sensing all the layers in the heart, the etheric layers outside your skin, the physical layer, the emotional layer, the mental layer. What's alive there in this personal heart? What's alive there? Just take note and let those energies flow. And in that layer, in the personality layer of your heart that contains the thoughts, the feelings, the physical body, the etheric body, just let yourself feel the love of that layer. What are the people, the things, the places that you love? And letting that love break your heart open to a deeper level and deeper layer of your heart. Just no need for big explosions, but if there is an explosion, that's totally fine. Right now, I am sensing a sort of a crack in the layer, and I'm just slowly falling through that layer as if I was just some sort of jello, very relaxed and letting go and just sinking in. to a deeper level of my heart. And what is alive here, in this soul layer of your heart? What becomes available in your experience through different sense doors that are available to you? Vision, hearing, taste, touch, smell. What is the quality of love of your soul? You can even name those things out loud for yourself. If it supports you to embody them more, or if you want to see how the heart center wants to move your body, or how the energy from your heart center wants to move out to the limbs, or to your head, or to your tail. Just sensing that energy flow. And feel that love penetrate and pervade all the areas of your life. And see also where this love is more and mostly needed at this point of time and space. Where do you need more of your own soul's love? And let that energy, let that love flow into that part of your life. See what happens. And then I invite you to turn that love towards the center of your heart center. And let that love break your heart open even more. Let this love turn towards the core of your heart, at the back of your heart, between the shoulder blades, on the side of your back, facing towards your back. Inviting the love of the personality and the love of the soul to call for life to open the door at the back of your heart. And see if the door opens with this sincere prayer, with this sincere calling for more life, to know ourselves at the core of our being. And to know the one life at the core of our soul and at the core of our personality. And see if the door opens and allows you to raise your awareness from your heart center while it is still connected to your heart center, raising and rising to your causal body. To the body of the soul, the body of soul sitting on a lotus above your head, some distance above your head. You can see if you can even feel that, sense that chakra or that center of energy in your system. And while you are still connected to your physical heart, you are rising up to this lotus You can see if this lotus has its petals closed or partially open or fully open. And regardless of that state of the petals, you can take a seat in the lotus. And see if you can sense the soul note of your soul even more deeply, the colors of it, what you see around you, what you sense around you as you enter this causal body. And how is it connected to your physical body? Then I invite you to let yourself become aware of the other lotuses in the field, whether they be the souls on this call or the souls that will watch the replay later, or if there are any other souls that are in the field of your experience, sensing their lotuses, and see if you can sense even the jewel, a diamond, or another kind of a jewel in the center of your lotus and their lotuses, shining or closed or half open. This diamond is the light of the soul, shining as you walk on this earth. You are shining the light in the darkness. And just sense what souls come to your field. And allow all your soul and your lotus and the other souls and lotuses form one big lotus. And they are forming also one big jewel in the center. With your connection to your physical heart, invite in the minerals, the plants, the animals, Hear their call for more life. Hear the call in your human experience for more life. And let this call rise up through your antakarana and into your causal body and into that jewel in the middle. Let it activate. Let this call and cry for more life to activate that jewel in the center. And beam up a blue white fire into the galactic center. And in that process, if there are any unresolved complexes, unresolved issues in the body of your physical incarnation, let that dynamically release with sound or shaking or other impulses in your body, letting it release and rise through your consciousness into the causal body and into the jewel and into the galactic center. Not having to understand with your mind what is it that you're releasing, but letting it flow through. And allow this process to take its time and its course. And once the blue-white fire stops, see if you can sense the profound stillness and peace landing from the galactic center into the causal field. And let this profound stillness electrify the lotuses, the jewel in the middle, and your own jewel, like a lightning moving between the different lotuses and diamonds. And as this activation is growing, allow now the blue-white fire to beam down from your causal body into your heart and into your own physical form through the chakra centers and into the earth and into your soul, into your personal love, and into the different areas of your life that needs more love and life. and into the natural world, wherever that activation is needed. And then bring your focus back to your own self and into your heart and into the causal field. And see what is the piece that I need to know and ground at this time and point of time and space. What is my piece? What is my place to serve? All this group soul, this one big humanity. What is my place right now? And again, allow different information through different sense doors come to you. Just open to receive, not having to push it or needing to know, but rather just be an open basket to receive it. The soul calls via the rising sign. The wine must be shared. Give thanks. The wine must be shared. Give thanks. And the pledged disciple responds, water of life am I, poured forth for thirsty humans. Water of life am I, poured forth for thirsty humans. As with this mantra, can you find gratitude for the gifts that you possess or guard? Can you find gratitude for the overflow and sharing? Can you connect to gratitude in order to be able to share instead of hoard and hide your gifts? Can you see how nourishing you are? How you are watering the beings around you. Letting this download sink in, trusting that even if it was not fully conscious or fully understood at this point, trusting that it will show what you need to know at a right time. As we are in the new moon, what is it that you want to seed? What is the seed that you want to plant for this lunar cycle and for this lunar year? Name that intention for yourself, or intentions if there are two separate ones. And then giving these intentions or this intention back to the source, trusting that if it is meant to be, that it will be. And finally, running this energy, this journey into the earth through your base, letting the energy flow into the earth, grounding, connecting you and your body to the earth. And having your spinal column actively vibrating while the heart still remains open. And then I invite you to complete this journey in the way that best suits your body. And so, whatever you need in order to feel more nourished in your body, in your being, let those impulses uh, take the lead for a moment. And then, when you are ready, I invite you back to our shared space on the screen. I'm sensing this stillness that makes me smile, and I don't want to interrupt that in any way. And yet, I still want to offer a space if there is anything that you would like to share, so that I'm not just projecting my joy onto you. So, Thank you, Julia. You have your mic open, so I was wondering if you want to say something, but then you already gave a transmission that of spaciousness and just peace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I felt resistance to break the silence, but wanted, yeah, wanted to give space to more silence and gratitude. I could say more things and have questions, but I feel there's also, yeah, things working in me that don't need words right now.
Yeah, I totally understand. And if you want to ask questions later, you can always email me at raisa.olias@gmail.com. So
Thank you.
always available. Okay. I'm really happy for this exploration together, deepening into group soul, group consciousness. And this is just the beginning. So seeding this for the new time and for the new society one by one. So thank you for joining me today. And many, many new blessings to you all.